Yes, what's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and of course hit that bell notification, put it on all so you can get notified immediately as soon as we drop new content on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. So what a great weekend of boxing we had. I wasn't expecting it to be so good, but hey, it was a good one. First fight I want to talk about is Jaime Munguia versus Gabe Rosado. This was a fight where, you know, is expected to be a bit of a test for Munguia. Munguia is one of those guys that he has got raw talent. He's a come forward, aggressive, fun fighter. He's a fighter that, you know, you could show to a non-boxing fan and they'd enjoy him. So, yeah, going into this fight, of course, Munguia, a big favorite and whatnot. And, yeah, he come out on top in the end, won a 12-round decision unanimously on the cards. And the way this fight went really was quite straightforward. Rosado was a lot of the time in this fight trying to look for one sort of single shot. He was using a lot of bravado, using a lot of this macho thing, you know, putting his hands up, touching his chin, saying "you didn't hurt me" to young Munguia, he's still only 25, I think, Munguia. But yeah, Rosado put on a brave effort, brave performance. You know, he done his normal thing. He did tried hard to win, but ultimately, at the end of the day, this was a case of the younger, fresher man, you know, with the sort of better engine, won the fight here. Because although Rosado did have a few moments here and there, overall it was just that Munguia, he's just got this engine and this pace, and he's kind of settling down into his boxing a lot more these days. He's a little bit more measured with his approach. He's linked up with Eric Morales as coach now, and you can tell he does get hit probably a bit too much. But I mean, overall, he's kind of, I would say, he's got a little bit more sort of, I would say, finesse to his game. He gets, for my liking, hit a little bit too much, but he seems to be sort of, he knows that, okay, this guy's not going to be able to hurt me or whatever. He seems to be quite comfortable taking the shots. But that's one thing I would point out where, yeah, he could be, if he fights a puncher, Triple G lands some of these shots that Rosado was able to land, he could be in a bit of trouble. But then again, Triple G is getting on a bit, he's getting old now, so you never know. He has a chance, this guy. But yeah, that was a bit of a flaw with Munguia. It does kind of take too many shots, but overall, the way he won this fight was just attrition. Just you know, he sort of outworked the older man in Rosado. He just had too much of an engine and a little bit too much zip and speed and sharpness to his punches. Did Munguia was just a little bit too young, too fresh, too sharp, and you know, just threw and landed too many punches. He was just, you know, this pace of Munguia really is to be commended, because he was just able, you know, Rosado may land one or two here and there, but Munguia, he was just reeling off combination, boom, 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 boom. So, you know, you might have Rosado landing one or two or whatever. Munguia will land five. You just let them go, boom, 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 boom. And it was a good, overall, as a fight, as a spectacle. You know, I kind of course, favoured Munguia to win this fight going in. You've got to, you know, think that way. But the only thing negative with him, as I say, he got hit probably a bit too much. And he has a little bit of power, but I would say not the most powerful puncher as a middleweight. So he could run into problems when he faces a puncher or whatever. But overall, for Munguia, entertaining performance, good value for money, and he's a work in progress. I think whether or not he's ready for the big boys like the Charlo or something like that. I think a guy like a Charlo might sort of outbox Munguia, but I think he'd be ready. I think he's ready to have a go with the big boys. But I would say the sensible thing, give him a few more fights, give him, a couple more fights, couple more tests of this nature, and then let him loose, then let him go. But I think it's one of those where I wouldn't be 100% confident with him against a Charlo or a Golovkin or whatnot. I'd say you'd have to favour those guys over him because of his level of competition and because of his style. He is a bit open to the punches, but overall, good performance by Munguia, positive. Again, he done what he needed to do. Overwhelmed Rosado, too many punches, too fast, too sharp, and too young and too fresh. So we'll see how far this kid can go, but good performance by Munguia, quite impressive, and most importantly for the fans, it was very entertaining. Really enjoyed it. So let me know your thoughts on this fight. What do you think of Munguia's performance? And let me know also, how far do you think he can go? Do you think he'll become a proper world champion, or do you think he'll just be a contender or fringe level? Do you think he could beat a Golovkin could he step into the ring with a Canelo if Canelo goes back to middleweight or whatever? What do you think his chances are in the future? I, for one, think he's a work in progress and he may have a chance. Give him a few more fights, we'll see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out. I'll catch you on the next one.